Hello, everyone, and I welcome you all to another important and insightful session wherein today we'll be talking about the Coase theorem. So, basically, the Coase theorem tells from the section of environment, Unit 9 of your UGC NET, and it's a very important theorem in terms of the questions which have been asked by the UGC, and it's also holding relevance for your other theorems also, right? So basically, it holds true for the in order to understand the other theorems also, right? So without wasting much of your time, so let's just quickly delve into what does the Coase theorem talks about. Also, towards the end of it, we will be talking about we will be actually discussing some PYQs from the very same topic. And also, I have just supplementary added a few questions for you to solve in the end. So just pause the video at that point and then just solve them. And for further, in more informative videos regarding UGC NET, since only hardly 40-45 days are left for UGC, I would highly recommend you to watch out the Edishores program, right? Wherein we take up several topics and discuss them thoroughly, right? So let's just understand what does the Coase theorem talks about. So if I just try to give you a brief about the theorem. So Coase theorem basically, it was developed by number one, Ronald Coase, right? He was an economist who developed the theorem. The theorem, if I give you the gist of the theorem basically talks about then the transaction cost, right? So there are various types of costs in the economy. One such cost is a transaction cost. When the transaction costs in the economy are very low, so we have a very low transaction cost in the economy, right? And the property rights, right? The property rights, let's say I am a person A, you are a person B, we to hold a property, but who has the right over this property has been very clearly defined. If these two things are actually working in sync and parity, so basically the parties, let's say this is me and you sure, and this is you, party A, right? So we can very clearly and easily negotiate to reach an effective outcome. Let's say we have a clash between each of us, right? Let's say there's a party A, there's a party B, right? This party loves to smoke, right? And this party does not love to smoke, right? And they both live in a same building, right? Or let's say same floor, right? So both of them go to the terrace in the evening. So this person continuously smoke, due to which this person has a problem, right? Because he does not smoke. So he also, so in this situation, if the transaction costs are low and the property rights, the rights of this property, if it's clearly defined, okay, in that case, we can actually enter into an efficient solution of मतलब क्या ये स्मोक करे या क्या ये स्मोक ना करे, right? Who will decide? Who will win in this situation if we have to decide it technically? We need to have a very clear property rights. ठीक है? तो उस सिचुएशन में अगर हमारे पास ये वाला कंडीशन आंसर सॉरी अगर हमारे पास ये वाला कंडीशन मीट हो रहा है, ठीक है, और हमारे पास just ये कंडीशन भी मीट हो रहा है और हमारे पास ये वाला कंडीशन भी मीट हो रहा है, देन यू कैन एक्चुअली कम टू अ वेरी एफिशिएंट सॉल्यूशन रिगार्डलेस ऑफ इनिशियली किसके पास ये प्रॉपर्टी राइट था, आपके पास था या मेरे पास था, ए के पास था या बी के पास था, किसी के पास भी था। अगर हमारे पास ये दो कंडीशन फुलफिल हो रहे हैं तो वी कैन कम टू अ सोल्यूशन। देयर इज नो नीड फॉर सम एक्सटर्नल पार्टी और थर्ड पार्टी टू एक्चुअली इंटरवीन बिटवीन अस, राइट? वो हमारी पिक्चर में उनको इंटरवीन करने का कोई पर्सपेक्टिव, ठीक है। तो अगर मैं आपको सिंपल टर्म्स में समझाऊंगी क्या कहना चाह रहा है, अगर थ्योरम बेसिकली सिर्फ और सिर्फ क्या सजेस्ट करता है, अगर दो पार्टीज ए एंड बी कैन इजीली नेगोशिएट अमंग्स देमसेल्व्स, राइट? वो इजीली नेगोशिएट कर सकते हैं किसी भी एक प्रॉब्लम के ऊपर एंड दे कैन फाइंड अ इफेक्टिव सॉल्यूशन टू इट, देन दे कैन एक्चुअली सॉल्व वॉट एवर एक्सटर्नैलिटीज दे आर फेसिंग इन द इकोनॉमी, right? Because externalities are actually the problems which the people face in the economy, right? There is nothing else and nothing new, right? So this is what the Coase theorem talks about. The initial, basically, they do not even, if they can do it easily, efficiently, so they do not even need government to do it for themselves, right? They themselves can very easily. So this is a basic gist of the Coase theorem. So इसका perspective क्या है theorem? Theorem का perspective ये है, it actually wants to you people or it wants the society to understand to reduce the transaction cost, right? Transaction cost, right? Okay, it actually wants you to actually reduce your transaction cost, and that is the prime perspective. अब आप पूछोगे, then what is a transaction cost? How do we know what is a transaction cost? Transaction cost, what is the perspective of talking about transaction cost? So we will just delve into it. We'll just understand it when the word transaction cost come in this PDF, right? So up till now, I have just given you a gist of what the cost theorem talks about. Now let's just delve into it. And I'll also highlight you some important aspects जो आपको पता होंगे, right? So basically, cost theorem जो था, it was propounded by Ronald Coase, right? And he had actually written this theorem in the problem of the social cost. So this very particular statement becomes very important for us in terms of UGC, right? Why? Because we know that UGC has a habit of asking matching questions, right? Matching based questions are very favorite of UGC, right? We all use, right? So this becomes very important to us. So basically, the theorem talks about that जब आपकी transaction cost negligible है, and when your property rights are also well defined, then only and only by bargaining, you can reach to an efficient outcome, no matter initially kiska kya allocation, right? And the basic theorem actually challenges about that government intervention is actually not necessary in the society, right? हर बार government का intervene करना is not necessary in the society. People themselves or the parties themselves can also actually negotiate and come to a very prominent and very profound solution on their own, right? So now a question comes to us that what are the transaction costs? हम इतनी देर से बोल रहे हैं transaction cost, transaction cost. What do I mean by when I'm talking about transaction cost, right? This is now another thing which is important for us. Now let me tell you what do I mean by a transaction cost. Okay. Now the transaction. Transaction, if we talk about in daily everyday life, what is a transaction? Whatever the transaction we do or whatever the exchanges we do in the economy, monetary transaction हो सकती है, goods की transaction होती है, services की transaction हो सकती है, कुछ भी हो सकती है. Every exchange that is happening in the economy is nothing but a transaction. Bank के through, interpersonal, intrapersonal, everything is a transaction. So basically, transaction cost, when we talk about transaction cost in the cost program, basically refers to all the expenses plus the barriers. जितने भी एक्सपेंसेस प्लस जितने भी बैरियर्स होते हैं जो एक पार्टीज एनकाउंटर करती हैं, द टू पार्टीज एनकाउंटर और एनी सॉर्ट ऑफ एन नंबर ऑफ पार्टीज एनकाउंटर व्हेन दे आर नेगोशिएटिंग. जब टू पीपल आर नेगोशिएटिंग एंड ट्राइंग टू अराइव एट एन efficient outcome, the basic solution of the कोस्ट थ्योरम, इस प्रोसेस में जो भी सारी एक्सपेंसेस और बार्गेन्स होते हैं बोथ ऑफ द पार्टीज के आर एक्चुअली योर ट्रांजैक्शन कॉस्ट. नाउ यू विल आस्क मैम देन व्हाट डू वी मीन बाय ट्रांजैक्शन कॉस्ट? ट्रांजैक्शन कॉस्ट हम किस चीज को बोलते हैं, मतलब व्हाट आर द टाइप्स ऑफ ट्रांजैक्शन कॉस्ट? जैसे कि आपकी ट्रांजैक्शन कॉस्ट हो गई सर्च एंड इन्फॉर्मेशन, राइट? लेट्स से आप टू पार्टीज आर क्लैशिंग ओवर अ इंडस्ट्री. One party wants the industry should operate and the other party wants the industry should not operate because it is polluted. सो आपको उसके बारे में इंफॉर्मेशन गैदर करनी पड़ेगी. तो सर्च एंड इन्फॉर्मेशन गैदर करने के लिए एक कॉस्ट होती है. सेकेंड टाइप ऑफ कॉस्ट इज बार्गेनिंग कॉस्ट, राइट? बार्गेनिंग कॉस्ट कैसे हो गई कि लेट्स से there is an industry which is polluting and there is a house near to the industry. This house does not want this industry to operate and hence he decides that I will file a complaint in the authorities because the industry is operating in a residential, right? Now this industry, in order to stop this house, says, okay, please allow us to pollute, and in return, we will be compensating you by paying all of your bills, all of your electricity bills. We will be paying, right? So this is what the bargaining cost. We have both a bargain, but it has come at a cost. So this is a bargaining cost. Then third can be enforce करने की cost, enforcement की cost भी हो सकती है, right? Then there can be legal cost also, right? So all these are sort of the transaction cost. Transaction करने के लिए, in order to arrive at a equilibrium efficient outcome, whatever the costs incurred by both the parties are known as a transaction cost. ठीक है, अब आगे चलते हैं. Now we will talk about, basically, let's just dive a little bit into the history. Basically, we have already seen the problem of social cost was the paper in which the theorem was first published. Then there was another paper, the nature of the firm. It was Coase the earlier work. In this, the nature of the firm, in this work, he particularly talked about your transaction cost, and in which he talked about Coase theorem, for which he also won a Nobel Prize, was the problem of social cost. So this paper turns out to be very important for you people, and I expect you to join. Okay, now there was also another economist, George Stigler, who actually coined the term cost. Right, he was the one who actually popularized his ideas. Okay, now if you further move forward in the theorem, what does the theorem actually further talks about? Torah further actually talks about there are three essential conditions, and there has been multiple PYQs on this particular section because the question keeps on question comes in the form which of the following not a part of course, right? What are the question two? There has been assumption of the question, right? Then there has been a question about what are the conditions which satisfy question. So these three, four types of questions have been very repetitive in nature in terms of UGC. The post theorem से यही तीन चार चीजें पूछी जाती है. So whenever you, if you receive a question on post theorem, either you will get on the paper of which she has written. कहाँ से लिया गया है? Post theorem के essential characteristics क्या है? What is the base of the post theorem? That it actually wants to avoid the externalities of the economy. ठीक है. So what are the three essential characteristics? Number one essential characteristic, as we have already discussed, that there has to be property rights. और ये प्रॉपर्टी राइट सिर्फ होनी नहीं चाहिए, दे शुड बी वेल डिफाइंड. ठीक है, इसका क्या प्रॉपर्टी राइट है बहुत क्लियरली डिफाइंड होना चाहिए, एल्स इट विल लीड यू टू अ डाइसी सिचुएशन, राइट? एल्स बिकॉज आप कह रहे हो कि आपकी भी प्रॉपर्टी राइट्स है, मैं कह रही हूँ मेरी भी प्रॉपर्टी राइट्स, सो वी विल नेवर कम टू एन एग्रीमेंट, वी विल नेवर कम टू एन एफिशिएंट सॉल्यूशन. ठीक है. सेकंड थिंग व्हिच इज वेरी डिमांडेड हियर इज दैट देयर शुड बी वेरी रिड्यूस्ड ट्रांजैक्शन कॉस्ट. ठीक है. तो आपको ऐसे इफेक्टिवली यू हैव टू कम्युनिकेट विद ईच अदर, यू हैव टू कम टू अ सॉल्यूशन इन दैट पर्टिकुलर मैनर दैट योर कॉस्ट टर्न्स आउट टू बी वेरी लेस और वेरी लो इन नंबर, राइट? आपको like you don't have to unnecessarily spend on it a lot. ठीक है. Then there should be third and a very most prominent important thing is that there should be perfect information, right? Perfect information जो होता है, as we have already studied in perfect market का there is a characteristic of perfect information that all the buyers and all the sellers in the economy have actually clear cut perfect information about the market. So this actually holds true for your post theorem also, that there no matter how many players are there, how many property right holders are there, let's say let's say there is A, B, C, D, E, F, any which we don't care कितने हैं, N है या 2 है या 3 है, everybody is having equal amount of perfect information in the economy. ठीक है. अगर अब हम इसको मैथमेटिकली बात करें, if we talk about in the mathematical terms, थ्योरम बेसिकली क्या एक्सपेक्ट करता है कि नो दिस आउटपुट Q which is efficient because it has reached to us by proper bargaining and proper discussion and proper solutions. This is reached regardless of who has the property right. If I have a property right, even if A has property rights, right, even then we will reach here. If B has property rights, okay, even then we will reach here. No matter property rights इसके भी no issue, right? We will reach to an efficient solution. Now let me give you an example, right? ठीक है. There are two people. I will just write it here. I will just give you an example to it for you to understand it more clearly. Okay. To give an example to it, let's say there are two people in the house. In a room, there are two people who are sharing a room. A smokes, right? He does not smoke, right? Does not smoke. Okay. So they are having a rift between each other that I will smoke and he is saying that you should not smoke, right? Now, case one, जब A has property rights. What do I mean by property rights? Let's say A is a person who has been living in this flat earlier. Okay, ये पहले से रह रहा है. So he feels like I am the veteran of this flat. I am the monopoly of this flat. If he has property rights, so what happens then is B says, okay, you can smoke. B solution क्या देता है? B कहता है आप smoke कर लीजिए, but you do the smoking when I am not in the room, right? At least let's come to a plan. I work in the office 10 p.m. to 6 p.m. 10 a.m. sorry 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. आप इसके बाद इसके बीच में आप कभी भी स्मोक कर लीजिए. A agrees to it, right? A भी agree कर जाते हैं. We have reached to an efficient solution. Now case 2 क्या हो गया? Let's say B has the right? B है B के पास प्रॉपर्टी राइट्स है. B कहता है कि either you smoke it 10 p.m. to 6 p.m. के बीच में. Yeah, I will compensate you if you don't smoke when I am there in the room. I will compensate you by paying, let's say, 10% of your rent also, or 10% of your share also. He agrees to it. Even then, they have now reached a similar situation. He will technically at the end will be now smoking. Then B is not available at the visit. So we don't care Either A has the initial property rights or B has the initial property rights. Both the price, both in both the cases, you will actually rate to an efficient solution Q dash, where Q is actually equal to Q. No matter A has no matter A has rights or B has rights. किसी के पास भी rights थे हम उससे बात नहीं. So this is what mathematically the theorem was trying to explain. अब we have already discussed what are transaction costs. So transaction cost आपकी search and bargaining की cost हो जाती है. Then transaction cost ये आपके लिए बहुत important है to understand. Okay, search and bargaining की cost just आपकी सर्च एंड बार्गेनिंग की जो भी कॉस्ट होती है वो ट्रांजैक्शन कॉस्ट हो जाती है. ठीक है. देन आपकी इन्फोर्समेंट की कॉस्ट सारी ट्रांजैक्शन कॉस्ट हो जाती है. लीगल कॉस्ट ट्रांजैक्शन कॉस्ट हो जाती है. बार्गेनिंग कॉस्ट ट्रांजैक्शन. दिस इज समथिंग व्हिच यू एक्चुअली नीड टू रिमेंबर वेरी क्लियरली. किन किन चीजों का ट्रांजैक्शन कॉस्ट एक्चुअली इकोनॉमी बोलते हैं. ठीक है. नाउ इफ वी मूव फर्दर फॉरवर्ड, व्हाट इज द इंपॉर्टेंस ऑफ कॉस्ट थ्योरम. देखो कॉस्ट थ्योरम का इंपॉर्टेंस क्या है. कॉस्ट थ्योरम क्या हमें समझाना चाह रहा था कि एक्चुअली when your economy has transaction costs very high, ठीक है, इस केस में आपके जो प्रॉपर्टी राइट्स हैं दे मैटर. ठीक है. उस केस में जब आपकी इकोनॉमी में ट्रांजैक्शन कॉस्ट बहुत हाई है, मतलब लीगल कॉस्ट, लेट्स से ए बी से कह रहा है मैं स्मोक नहीं करूंगा अगर आप मुझे हर मंथ 50,000. आई विल नॉट स्मोक व्हेन यू आर इन द रूम इफ यू पे मी 50,000. और लेट्स से बी का सैलरी 60,000. लेट्स से her month, if he keeps on giving 50,000 to B, he will just be left with 10,000. How will he do his basic survival? Right? So if the transaction, ठीक है, अब B कहता है, B says, no, I will not do it. He says, okay, fine, don't do it, then I will keep on smoking. Keep on smoking as my money. Because he has the initial property. Right? We are assuming he has the initial property rights. But transaction cost is such high that in such a situation, the property rights matter a lot. And just bargaining, सिर्फ bargaining करने से आपका एक efficient solution नहीं, efficient solution या efficient output या outcome कुछ भी कहना नहीं आपका. ठीक है. This is what it talks about. ठीक है. So importance क्या है थ्योरम की, that as much as low the transaction cost is, the more the people will be actually investing in that discussion, in that bargaining outcome, and the more there will be the possibility of reaching to a feasible outcome. Right? Okay. So this is what the cost theorem actually talks about. Okay. So up till now we have understood what is the cost theorem, what are the basic criteria to it, what are the basic assumptions to it. Right? Now let us just see and why is the theorem important for us. So now we will actually look at some real life examples for you people to understand it more. This is a classical example है उस theorem का, the factory and the laundry. ठीक है. Let's say the factory actually emits pollution, right? And there is a nearby laundry business in the market, right? In that same vicinity only, there is a laundry business also in the market, which is actually right. Okay. Now पहला scenario क्या है? This laundry has a right to clean it, मतलब they have the. ठीक है. इस केस में क्या सोल्यूशन आपके पास अवेलेबल है फैक्ट्री के पास? इधर इट रिड्यूस द पोल्यूशन, रिड्यूस कर ले अपना पोल्यूशन. अगर पोल्यूशन नहीं रिड्यूस करता तो फिर कॉम्पेंसेट. ठीक है. अब pollute, the factory will pollute if and only if his profits out of pollution is way more than the damage it is causing to the market. Let's say वो उसको compensate कर भी रहा है. He has decided, I will not stop polluting, but I will compensate. Now let's say he is making a profit of let's say 1 lakh. Okay. He is compensating with that. He is compensating to them by rupees 20,000. So of course, if its profits are way more higher, then the damage it is causing to the laundry, and by compensating it, the efficient outcome will be he will keep on polluting and he will compensate. Right? Scenario 2 हमारे पास क्या आ जाता है? Then the factory has the right to pollute. ठीक है. उस केस में क्या हो सकता है? अगर फैक्ट्री के पास राइट है पोल्यूट करने का, फैक्ट्री तो उस केस में क्या है? लॉन्ड्री इधर विल टॉलरेट, राइट? या लॉन्ड्री पे करेगी फैक्ट्री को कि प्लीज वी विल पे एक्स्ट्रा मनी, यू इन्वेस्ट इन सम ग्रीनर टेक्नोलॉजी जिससे पोल्यूशन कम हो, सो दैट योर पोल्यूशन लूजेस. अब इस केस में भी एफिशिएंट आउटकम क्या हो? फैक्ट्री पोल्यूट करेगी अगेन, उसके प्रॉफिट्स अगर ज्यादा है, अगर उसके प्रॉफिट ज्यादा है उस कंडीशन में वो लीव एन आउट, यस प्लीज कंट्रीब्यूट एंड वी विल रिड्यूस इट. If it's not like, अगर उसके प्रॉफिट ज्यादा है, we let the laundry tolerate. I don't care. But अगर उसके प्रॉफिट्स नहीं है, तो we will agree to this factory पे वाला सिचुएशन, बार्गेन करके उनके साथ, and we will then invest in some other technology. Okay. So this is a classic example of your post theorem. Okay. So basically, now we have seen दोनों ही सिचुएशन में इधर इधर कल्यूट, ठीक है, या तो बार्गेन कर लेंगे, बार्गेन करने के दो तरीके हैं, या तो लॉन्ड्री कॉम्पेंसेट करेंगे, या तो फर्म कॉम्पेंसेट। फर्म कब कॉम्पेंसेट करेगी, लॉन्ड्री कब कॉम्पेंसेट करेगी, इफ फर्म हैज राइट्स, राइट। फर्म कब कॉम्पेंसेट करेगी, व्हेन लॉन्ड्री हैज, ठीक है। आई होप दिस मेक्स सेंस टू बी नाउ। कब कौन कॉम्पेंसेट करेगा, व्हाट डू वी मीन बाय प्रॉपर्टी राइट्स, व्हाट आर द अदर एप्लीकेशंस, कब हम ये नेगोशिएशन का थ्योरम बना सकते हैं इन ऑर्डर टू रिड्यूस द एक्सटर्नैलिटीज एंड ट्रांजैक्शन कॉस्ट, व्हेन देयर आर इश्यूज रिलेटेड टू लैंड डिस्प्यूट्स, वाटर राइट्स, intellectual property rights, nuances laws, right? So all these are the other few applications where we can actually put into use and the effective post theorem. Okay. Now, what is the criticism? Criticism क्या है इस चीजों का? What is the criticism? Number one, the criticism is about transaction. Transaction cost in reality can never be settled. Let's say there is a legal suit fighting between two people. There's a legal case going on between two people. Can you, अब इसमें transaction cost क्या है? You go to the court every day. There is a to and fro cost. There is a cost of a lawyer. There's a cost of your time, right? The opportunity cost of your work, right? Which you are compensating अगर आप रोज केस के लिए जा रहे हो. So do you necessarily think this is somewhat even closer to some? So in reality, the transaction costs are highly rarely zero. Up, if there are multiple parties, let's say there are 5 parties involved, now party, multiple parties, so for all of them to come to a consensus, it's very complex. And it can be possible that these two decide कि let these three fight. ठीक है, मैं इसको सपोर्ट कर लेता हूँ, मैं इसको सपोर्ट, so they actually come and keep on with free rider problem, right? So let's say A, B, C, D, E. A and B are of same opinion, E is of different opinion, C जो है he actually supports what they are saying, D जो है he supports what he is, ठीक है. So these C and D are actually doing nothing but a free rider type of situation, right? And hence making the bargain complex. Okay. So these are the practical constraints. Then there can also be power imbalances, right? Let's say laundry and industry. Now, for example, this industry has some contacts in the administration, right? Right. Some extra contacts, right? So this power imbalances also lead to inefficient bargaining solutions. Perfect information is often not available because perfect market is also an ideal market which should exist, but technically does not exist in real life. Similarly, perfect information is something which is not technically available. Okay. Now, what are the theoretical constraints? Then there is a strategic behavior problem. Parties may not actually behave in a very chill manner, right? Then there is income effect problem, wealth effect problem, right? Now, there are few related things which are related to post theorem. So there are number one, invariance thesis. Then your outcome is actually invariant to the initial price. That causes the invariance thesis. Then there is an impossibility theorem, which demonstrate what is the limit happy post theorem, what is the bargaining limit for the post theorem. Then we also know Pigwin tax. Pigwin tax is something which is taxed on negative externalities. So this is an alternative approach to a post theorem. So this question, I guess, has also been asked once in the UGC. And what do you mean by, what can you suggest as the alternative to the post theorem if post theorem actually fails in coming to an efficient solution? So options was Pigwin tax, right? Increase direct tax, right? Enforced laws, for cash and injury tax, ऐसे कुछ था. So it's called this payment tax because it's an alternative because it also charges on negative externalities. ठीक है. So with this we wrap. What is the role? Again, policy implications क्या हो सकते हैं? The government should keep on focusing on reducing the transaction cost. Make sure that the information is perfectly available. The government should ensure that property rights are clearly defined in order to avoid the risk between the people and so that they can move to an efficient outcome and solution without the government interference every now and then. And try to as much get perfect information as much as possible, right? There should be less and less of the information based similarities, right? So with this, okay, the last point was actually why does the Coase theorem fails? So Coase theorem fails when, again, we already discussed it, when there are many parties involved, right? there is a power imbalance in the party. One is highly influential, so he or she can actually influence the market also. Then there is also information biasness. Yeah. So these are few of the statements which actually causes a negative impact on the quotient theorem to fail. So I guess, yes, with this we have come up with the end of the quotient theorem. So there are a few questions which we will be now discussing. So this question actually arrived in your July 2016 incident report. The question talks about that the Coase theorem suggests that private negotiation will lead to correction of the market only when few people are around. Yes, we have seen because this is yet another criticism to it. अगर ज्यादा लोग involved हो जाते तो more complex the system becomes. Right? Property rights are clearly recognized where negotiation costs are low, which means the transaction costs low. Yes, people are having asymmetric information. This is actually a critical, right? So 4 gets wrong. 4 is wrong. 4 is wrong. 4 is wrong. We get to a correct option. A is the correct option. Okay. This was the July 2016 question. Option A is correct. Now we go to June 2019 question. Under some conditions, it makes no difference to efficiency whether the polluter has the right or the victim has the right to clean it. The statement was given by him. देखो अभी तो क्लियरली पढ़ लिया वी नो इट्स क्लोज टू नाउ अगर यहाँ पे ऑप्शंस आर आल्सो वेरी इजी अगर सोचो यहाँ पे बिल्कुल लिखा हो राइट बिकॉज द क्वेश्चन इज टॉकिंग अबाउट एक्सटर्नैलिटी you might get confused it is right so to be very clear ki the question is talking about property rights apart from externalities the question is also talking about if there is no impact on the efficiency whether the polluter has the right to pollute or the victim has the right to pollute. So it is actually talking about property rights and property rights to discuss person about. So option is option number. Okay. I guess this is the last question which we have to discuss. Now, according to Coase, this is also June 2021. So according to Coase, which of the following statement is correct for pollution control? Pollution. Providing property rights to state, providing property rights to rural, providing property rights to polluters and polluted. So we have studied कि Coase theorem का basic agenda ही है let the bargaining parties decide amongst themselves so that there is no need for legal parties or government or everybody to intervene. The parties can negotiate amongst themselves and come to an efficient outcome, output or outcome, right? So we should have it technically providing the property rights to the one who is polluting and the ones who are actually getting impacted or affected by it. So this is the option number C. With this, we have actually wrapped up your, what do you call it, Coase theorem. I hope the session or the short lecture was actually beneficial for you to understand what does Coase theorem means. And I really wish you all the very best for your upcoming NET exam. And I hope EduSure plays a very vital role in helping you succeed in your exam as much as possible. Also, I have just attached a few multiple questions beneath it. So there are just, I guess, 3 questions. So according to Coase theorem, which of the following are not necessary efficient outcome? Well-defined property rights, zero outcome, government information, corporate information. Just try and solve these questions. When transaction costs are significant, which of the statement is more Coase theorem not apply? Initial property rights irrelevant, efficiency impact, then bargaining will lead to efficient outcome. And third question was about that the Coase theorem challenges which economist approach to externalities. Smith, the book means everything. Just think about it a little more. Coase क्या बोल रहे हैं? And what does these people were actually talking about? He's the classical ones, then Keynes with the Keynesian economies, right? So just think about it. What does these people were trying to say about externalities, right? And then try to reply कि कौन सा क्या है. And the answer to it will be available to the PDF attached to this session. Okay. All the very best. And with this, I take your leave from this very lecture, and I shall meet you all with yet another very important relevant topic for UGC NET in the next lecture. Thank you so much.